There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM. With even more exclusive content, with over 150 channels in your vehicle, including the widest, deepest variety of music, ad-free. Root for your team. Get news. Listen to whatever makes you laugh. And hear all about your favorite stars. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels filled with music and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video. Thousands of hours of shows and performances on demand. What you love is on now.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 12 Volt Insider, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and we are recording live right here on the showroom floor from Mastertech EXPO in Mesa, Arizona, day 2 of a 3-day event. And of course, we're back. I'm here with my partner in crime for today, Mr. Paul Truman of SiriusXM. How you doing, Paul?
Very good, sir. How are you?
Dude, happy to open day 2 show with you. The guys tuned in yesterday. They got a glimpse of what's going on here, because let me be clear, there is a lot going on here at Mastertech EXPO. I want to start right away. So far, your impressions of the show. We've sat here in the we've talked to people. What's your feedback so far, Paul?
So far, this event is absolutely amazing. I mean, starting off Sunday night, concert, beer, fireworks. Let's be honest. You can't
fireworks.
Stop.
Hold on. Like, we're talking 13 minutes of crazy fireworks.
Yeah, this was not your Walmart pack for $99. This was a proper show. This was absolutely brilliant. So.
Absolutely. And then like the people that are here, right? We're talking to technicians, we're talking to installers, we're talking to business owners, and they're all here pretty motivated. Like, I'm here at 7 a.m. These guys are ready to go and learn.
Well, think about it. These are the guys that are the best of the best. They had a vested interest coming in here. It's not like a free event. They spent a lot of money to be here. And all they're going to do is benefit immensely from all the classes they go through.
For themselves,
and it's a great investment. And I think that everyone here is having a blast. Absolutely.
So you talked about the opening ceremony. That was really special, because let's be honest, this is kind of unique of an experience from a convention or, this type of event. What Brian did is he set up a really welcoming environment to kind of kick off the festivities of the whole week. And culminating in that fireworks, I can't tell you how much. I've never been at a fireworks show, at a car audio show.
I think it was basically very, very close to the opening events of the Olympics. It was basically
it felt like impressive. That. It definitely felt like that. So, other than all these great people that we'll be meeting, there's tons of vendors here, SiriusXM included, of course. 2 lucky winners.
Oh, that was amazing.
2 lucky winners. I don't know if you guys remember this, but a couple months back when we first announced our partnership with Mastertech, we got together with SiriusXM with 5 Axis Innovations, and we created a contest for 2 lucky winners to win an all-inclusive trip to get here at Mastertech and take the courses that they wanted. We chose 1 winner from Canada and 1 winner from the US. They are here, so stay tuned. If you guys tune in tomorrow, I'm going to get them on and get their feedback and see how their experience has been. Okay, so let's talk real quick about what we're showing here from a technology standpoint, Paul, from SiriusXM. A lot of new technology, which is nice, because let's be honest, it's been a minute since really anything, mind-blowing has changed from an interface standpoint. But now there's new software on the horizon. I got to play with it, but I'm going to let Paul talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, so we are finally this month going to launch 360L with one of our head unit partners, which, if you've seen anything from it, from SiriusXM with the app and the satellite, property stuff that we have, it basically takes the best of both platforms and puts it all in one place. So you're now able to create Pandora channels on the head unit itself, save them as presets. You can listen to multiple channels of our streaming only options on there. And like I said, everything all in one place, and then it transfers over to your phone as well. It's amazing.
I need to kind of translate that to my experience. I had a chance. Paul kind of gave me like a preview. I got to play with this on this new Alpine unit here in the booth, and basically what the experience is, Paul, for me,
for you,
it literally is it's kind of like a AI in a sense that kind of creates different avenues, because once you put in a key search word, now you can explore different things. And then by being able to customize the Pandora side of things, dude, for those of you who have been SiriusXM customers for a long time, this is going to be a new level of customization. Can I say? Is that what it is?
It'll get you away from, let's be honest, the average person that listens to 6 presets because
Whoa. I have 7.
7, okay.
So I'm above average.
All right, so you're above average. But now it takes your ability to experience, because it'll recommend different channels. It'll recommend different artists. And then if you think of some artist, you can just use the voice command. And it'll search for it and tell you exactly where it'll be, or create your own channel powered by Pandora.
So if you're not here and you're watching this, boo on you. But the next show you go to and you see a SiriusXM booth, go bug. It's probably going to be Paul, to be honest with you. Go bug Paul. Ask him to give you a demo on this new 360 technology.
Absolutely.
Paul, we're going to make room for a couple other guests we have coming on.
I appreciate it. Thanks ever so much for having us, and thanks for doing
amazing
this for
fireworks.
everybody in the industry.
Of course.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Paul. All right, we're going to get this ball started. We're going to keep it rolling. I've got a lineup for you guys. Put some comments in if you have questions for them. I kind of did my best to select as many people as possible over the next 3 days, and I got a really good lineup for you. Starting with my first guest. Come on in, bro. Now, I came from far to get to Arizona. This guy's he's always far. Why? Because he's out in Anchorage. That's right, Alaska. It's my man. What's going on, Mr. John Schwartz? How's it going?
What's up?
So, John, our job is easy. We got to make the people at home feel like, damn, we should have been here. Should have been here, right?
It's 73 outside.
Oh, man, I'm sweating. I should have brought those portable fans or something. Can you believe it? Yeah. All right, so we're going to break this out real quick. You know, obviously, you have a profound and very well-known partnership with Brian. Mobile Solutions, obviously, Sound Shields, why you're here. You've got a footprint on the floor. Let's start by getting your feedback. You know, this is your second year here. You've supported it from day one. How do you feel this show has evolved from last year to this year?
I mean, you got the best of the best here, man. You know, you've got people that you see, all the installs online, they're here. Chip Foose is here. You know, you got vendors here, bad, crazy cars. We just sat in Rockford's bass machine that you have a tap out button.
Yes, you had a tap out button. I saw that.
We did tap out.
Did you do it alone or with somebody?
No, me and Aaron did.
All right.
No, I think this is an incredible event. It's very focused on the technician, very focused on owners. I mean, in our industry, we need as much training as we can, and why would you not take advantage of that?
100%.
It's great.
We get to come here and talk to you at your booth. Come on now. You're doing a training too, aren't you?
I'm teaching a class. Yeah, 4:30 teaching a class.
There you go. So, I mean, obviously, you represent a product which is kind of clutch, right? When you want good sound quality, you want great sound quality. Everybody knows you got to deal with controlling the environment, resonance, echo, sound. That's what Sound Shield is all about.
That's right.
But I'm not going to bore you guys today to talk about what the benefits of Sound App. I'm going to assume you already know this. However, there were 2 products in the booth that caught my attention. I'm like, yo, John, you got to grab that. Bring this to our interview. Let's talk about it. Let's start with the first one.
Well, let's start the light one.
Yes.
So this is our new product.
Let me hold that.
There we go.
You talk about it.
Yeah, this is our new product. It's called Prep It. It's so basically in our industry, I feel like we don't really have kind of like a standard type of cleaner. So we worked with a pretty amazing company and formulated and told them, hey, this is the industry we're in. This is the type of vehicles we work on. This is the type of thing that we're doing, and we need something that's specific for us. So it works great on metal, fiberglass, plastic, and alcohol-free, formaldehyde-free, phosphate-free, all that bad stuff. We wanted to do something nice for the vehicle. So it's kind of either I'm crazy or people are going to get it and it makes sense. But since I have a sound treatment company, it's like I wanted to adhere to best. I wanted to do its thing, so we needed to come up with something to get.
So what was the challenge though? Like, why did you feel it was inherent to come up with something specific to do this job?
Well, because a lot of the retailers will reach out to me and they'll say, "Hey, what do I do to make this do better? Or what do you recommend for this?" And you get a broad answer all over the world. You get different answers.
There's no standard.
There's no standard.
Okay.
Like some guys use. I mean, literally, I had a guy come to the booth and say, "Hey, I use water." And I was
What?
like, yeah, you got to use something.
Water.
And then my guy Aaron was like, man, you got to at least use Windex, But, you get some guys use Acrosol, acetone, alcohol, blah, 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 one thing after another. And I wanted something that was it was easy. You're already buying your material. Here's some cleaner. This is what we say. So it's like, the manufacturer suggests using this. That's us. So we're saying we tested this in my retail store for the last 2 months. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. It dries fast. It's a nice,
sets it up nice to
nice
get
light
tacky.
degreaser. Yeah, it doesn't leave a film. Works good on everything. It's just a really nice.
I noticed something right here. that this is actually designed and made in the USA.
That's right.
So this is an American product.
Yes, sir.
Now, as far as formats, I noticed that this is a 16 fluid ounce. What are the
Right.
formats of this?
We also, well, we have a 32 ounce, and then we're thinking if we're gonna do a gallon, like it's a refill. But I think the 32 would be pretty good. So, and I'm getting feedback from everybody. So
I
that's
think
nice.
people should just put like this giant ass, like 50-gallon reservoir in there,
There
and
you
you
go.
just come with the truck and
I
pump
agree.
it,
I agree.
kind of like oil. You know
You
what I'm saying?
order 50 gallons, I'll deliver it myself.
From Alaska.
From Alaska.
Fair
Yeah,
enough. Fair
yeah.
enough. All right, so guys, that there is the new Sound Shield Prep It product. It's designed specifically to work with obviously Sound Shield Pro. I'm going to say it, probably most
Everything.
sound dampings I feel.
Sure.
But if you're interested in finding or trying a product that is specifically designed to prep that surface before applying any of this sound damping type material, give that a try right there. Now, talking about big volume. Talk about big volume. I notice you're holding a big ass box. I don't even know if we can fit that on the screen, but we're gonna try. What is this all about here, John?
There we go.
Oh my god! It's so heavy. It's massive. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we can put that one.
What is this all about? What's this all about?
So this is our. So basically, we did a huge, big project at the shop. We did like 28 rolls on like a Pro Master, and we're like, man, we need something different. So basically, and we kind of joke around. We say you wanted it longer and wider. So we.
I'm not gonna lie. This feels like I have an adult sitting on my lap right now. But anyways,
So-
keep going.
Anyway, yeah. So basically, I don't want to say a shop roll. It's a different tool in the toolbox. And so if you're doing a lot of like, say, like a Tundra, Ram, things like that, now you can do the whole door without putting a seam in it. You can do a whole floor. You can do the roof. You can do, just cover a lot of area.
And this is exact same formulation, right?
Was actually the cool thing about this is since it is a wider product, we actually had to use a higher end, more commercial, like residential grade type of material. So the foam is actually a little bit higher end. So, but same pressure sensitive adhesive, same grade butyl, but the foam is actually a little bit more higher end.
So it's a higher performance material.
Mhm.
Is there any cost savings from this perspective?
It's pretty similar in the sense you're getting a little bit more square footage, but again, that's why I say don't look at it as, oh, I'm getting a lot more stuff.
Right, it's not a
Basically,
bulk roll.
Yeah, you're adding 10 inches more of width, which is huge. That's why we can do the doors without seams. You're getting a whole bunch of length. You're going from 79 inches to 236.
That's right.
So like 19 and a half feet long. So it's just a different type of tool where you could use less of this, but actually get way more volume out because you're not wasting. So
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, hearing through the grapevine, talking to Fab guys, like this is something they've been asking for.
yeah, for a long time.
And look at that, you delivered.
That's right.
Imagine that.
That's right.
Imagine that. All right, I'm going to get this little adult human next off of me. Jeez. All right. All right, that's done. Whew. All right, so that there is Sound Shield Massive. That available right now.
Yes, sir.
We had talked about this Prep It, which is also available right now.
We're close. We're testing it at the show, see what people think, but we've been getting a tremendous response. So we'll definitely have that available soon.
Awesome. Final takeaway from the show so far. We're on day 2. What are you thinking?
Man, it's been crazy. I mean, busy. Chip Foose on the stage right now doing a design class.
Like he's literally drawing, dude.
Yeah, literally
Live.
Like literally,
It's
right now.
mesmerizing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see it. You watch it on TV, but the cool thing for me, I'm still like such a star. I get starstruck. Like you got Tom Miller here, Matt Schaefer, Gary Bell.
All
the
of
list goes on.
all
right?
stars. Yep.
Yeah, the best of the best are here, and I love it because like I said, I'm still a fan. So I'm like, oh my god, look at that guy. This
Meanwhile,
sucker,
you should
bro.
see the lineup of people taking selfies with this guy at the
Oh
booth,
man,
right? John, I want to thank you for coming in,
My
buddy.
man, anytime.
Congratulations on the new product.
Thank you so much.
Good luck on your training this evening,
Thank
and I'll see you at the booth.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
See y'all.
All right, that is John Schwartz, the man from Sound Shield. Great new product, 2 products again, a new preparation solution. So if you're looking to find something that is really formulated to prep your surface before applying any sound damping, I would definitely recommend check that out. An all new Massive, which is a much larger format, more industrial grade material. You asked for it, John delivered. And that's that. All right, let's see who we have coming up next. I know who we got. Let's go from some sound damping to some marine and beyond. Come on in, Mr. Carl. Have a seat. I got my man
How you doing, bro?
Carl from Wet Sounds. What's going on?
How you been, man?
Man, it's been busy. You've been busy.
Have been.
I snuck into your training last night. That was
Nice.
pretty exciting stuff.
Nice.
Wet Sounds is here in a big way, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
went by the booth, and before I even say anything, we didn't plan this, but I went to the booth, and every single person I've spoken to about your booth, even the competition, has complimented these displays you have going on in there. Like, what is the story in these ridiculously nice displays?
So we built these beautiful IBEX displays for the IBEX International Boat Expo that was going to happen in Florida. and the hurricane came and they canceled the show. So we brought the
Well, you put them back into storage?
So
or?
we put them back into
Oh, my
the
goodness.
crate, shipped them back home. We thought we'd use them here.
They are beautiful.
Appreciate that.
Those at the show, I'm sure you know I'm talking about. Maybe you can post that onto your social or something, but check out these displays. Gorgeous, gorgeous displays. Okay, we've got a lot to cover. Wet Sounds is here in a big way. I broke it down. I think the first thing I want to talk to you about is this new line of speakers that I saw in your booth. For me, it looked like a whole new series. I'll let you talk about it. It's called Zero. Tell us about Zero.
So Zero came about because it was the name came from zero compromise. We wanted to have an excellent speaker product that has a ton of technology in it and behind the product line, but at the same time, we're not limiting ourselves from a sound quality standpoint, as well as you still have that great marine quality build that Wet Sounds is known for.
I mean, at first glance, first of all, it looks high end. Make sure you tune into CMA future episode when we get into the marine stuff. You're going to see the design aspects of this new line. I know we've spoken with Lee in the past. I'm sure he was pretty influential in the overall design of that.
He was, yes.
But little things like the contrasting of matte black to the gloss black on the grill, the little insert, in the middle of the circle. And what I seen, you had kind of like a deconstructed demo of what goes into the design.
Yes.
And the one thing that caught my attention, this is neodymium magnet technology.
Yes, it is. We use the neodymium magnet, and the interesting thing, it's a very large neodymium magnet structure. We actually spend as much on this small neodymium magnet as we do our XXX15 SPL subwoofer. It's the same cost, even though it's a fraction of the size. So a lot of effort goes into making the magnet structure on this to keep it the size down.
And it was compact.
Very compact.
Very compact. Brand new cast basket.
It's a Nylas basket.
Nylas. What the heck is that?
So Nylas is a Wet Sounds proprietary product. It's a nylon and fiberglass that's melded together so that it's as strong as something like a steel basket would be, but it doesn't expand or contract with heat or temperature fluctuations.
Interesting. And is Zero the only series to apply Nylas?
No, we actually use Nylas in several other products throughout our line, but it's a very specific. Actually formed the DNC connector into the basket. So whether you're using a marine product, you can just plug and play, or even like a Harley Davidson fairing, for example.
Interesting.
They use that same plug. So it'll drop right in with the same bolt pattern and everything.
I'm going to stop you right there. So hold on a second. So I'm starting to feel something here. These are mid to high range performance speakers, pricing as well. You've incorporated neodymium magnets, shallow, depth.
Yep.
And now you have built-in plugs. I mean, you've got the spay terminals as well, right?
Yes, sir.
But these are good for motorcycle. Is that kind of the intent?
Yeah, it's a crossover product for us. So we want to definitely get into that motorcycle marketplace. So you might as well have the connector to make it easy for them to install and apply it to what they have. It'll fit a Harley Davidson from 2014 newer.
Okay.
And it drops right in. And what's also neat, if you look at the cone structure, it's got an inverted surround. So on those early Harleys, 2014, 2015, when they first came out, they had kind of a curved fairing grill. Well, an aftermarket speaker that has nice, good full excursion the surround would rub on the grill and literally wear a hole through the surround.
Yeah, that's no good.
So that's why this inverted surround is also an application to be for that power sport market.
I noticed that. Obviously, you have the coaxials.
Yes.
But there's also two subwoofers, right? Two different sizes.
There's a shallow 10 and a shallow 12.
Shallow is the key because when I went on the backside, I mean, these things are like this deep.
Yeah, very, 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 very little airspace required and very shallow.
How little?
0.5 cubic foot is all that's needed for the 10 and 0.89 cubic foot for the 12.
Okay, very, very cool. As I move across the booth, I get to this other section, and there are sound bars. Now, let's just be what it is. What it is. Wet Sounds is known.
Yes.
For me, sound bars and cans is kind of like Wet Sounds domain, right?
Wet Sounds actually invented the sound bar.
Exactly, which is why I said that. However, now I see 3 new models with some pretty cool features I want you to talk about.
Sure. So what we did, we incorporated what I call the cell phone finder, or a small dome light on the front of these sound bars. And the advantage of that, you have it in a side-by-side or you have it in a golf cart. Now you have a light. You can find your cell phone when you drop it on the floor.
Why not? Perfect.
Yeah, sure. Why not? And then we also have some RGB accenting to make it look good and be attractive for if you want a little flash.
Let's be honest, that market needs LEDs.
Sure.
It absolutely does. 100%.
Let's light it up and make it look sexy, right?
What about sonically? Any differences?
Yes. So we added some DSP processing to make the mid-range drivers get a lot better mid-bass response. So those 3-inch drivers that are in there can really give you a lot more lower and mid-bass on the units. And then we have it in a 6-speaker, an 8-speaker this year, as well as a 12-speaker.
But now, one thing that I know Wet Sounds always prides themselves in is they over-design things.
Yes.
And when I talk about installation options, there's some clutch little, features built in that I think installers are going to find very useful.
Yeah, so we use what's called a fast track. It's a little 5/16 channel that runs on the top and the bottom of our sound bars, which we've had on previous models. But this year we added that track to the back of the sound bar to add an install ease. And then the L brackets that come with it have little notched grooves, so you can pitch that sound bar at different angles and lock it in place. So if you have like an angled roll cage, you're putting it in for like maybe a Polaris Razor or a Can-Am Defender or something like that, you can actually angle the soundbar how you would like it to be and lock it in place without it slipping.
I'm going to tell you what. So, when you install the soundbar in like a power sport side by side,
yes,
and you come back and wah, wah, it's pointing down because of the pressure, right? Usually the washer system.
And they're side by side. They're throwing mud and rocks at it. And, they get a lot of abuse. So something can hit it and that happens. So this will lock that bar in place and keep it from moving.
Beauty. Now, last but not least, you offered me an energy drink. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And I went and reached for it in this weird cooler that had speakers on it.
Exactly.
What's that all about?
So that's our Shiver cooler. It's kind of a statement piece for us. Wet Sounds is a lifestyle product. We build products that are for the out-of-the-box lifestyle. The guy who's four-wheel driving or camping or RVing or boating. It doesn't matter what you're in. If you're not at home and you're not in your car, we have the Wet Sounds product for you. So this cooler, you can throw your pops in it, your cold pops and ice, and you can take it on the go and you can play the sound bar that's built into the front of it. And
can I tell you, it jams surprisingly well. Like I didn't expect, because it's a cooler, right?
Right.
It's not a sub box. There's ice and drinks in there.
Exactly.
Right, I'm saying? But it jams.
And it has an incredibly long play life too.
Yeah.
You can get 8+, 12+ hours out of this thing full blast.
I mean, there's a lot more, you guys. You guys aren't here. If you were here, you would visit Carl in his booth and he'd give you the full tour. But with the limited time we have left, Carl, overall impressions of the show so far?
So I really enjoy what Mastertech brings for the install world, and especially with the technology that's coming into it, with the CAD designs, equipment, the laser printers and etchers. It's really going to a whole new level, and it's allowing people to use technology in a way that maybe wasn't available just several years ago, or that the technology was there, but it was out of price for most dealers. Now a small guy can get a small CAD machine and
a laser or whatever,
and do high-end technical builds and make his job a lot easier. If you have that technology savvy.
And you know what? Something that might not get as much play, but I think is really starting on the up and up, is these higher-end custom marine installs.
Yes. Well, you see a lot of even the OEM manufacturers now go into like CAN bus systems and harnessing their boats with a proprietary harness plug. So even marine products are starting to catch on and add like the car audio.
And I guess that's why Wet Sounds in the house.
That's right. That's why we're here.
Carl,
that's why Ben's here too.
That's right. Thank you so much for coming by, sir. Congratulations.
You, sir.
Beautiful towers, if I didn't mention in your booth.
Appreciate
Just saying. Take care, buddy. We'll see you around.
Have a great day.
All right, guys. That was Carl Campbell representing Wet Sounds. Really nice booth. They are seriously hardcore. That new Zero line, so sexy. I can't wait to dive a little bit deeper with you guys. All right, let me get my next guest on. He's right here. Let's get, without further ado, our good friend, representing Vox Electronics, Mr. Jonathan Frank. What's going on, John?
What's going on, man?
You didn't bring me a Red Bull?
I run on Red Bull and aggression.
I know you do. I totally know you do.
That's it.
Okay, like everybody else here, it's crazy busy.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff going on. Between the showcase, indoor, the outdoor, the trainings, the different challenges. So let's start right there. Vox Viper wanted to get involved in some type of activity. So why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so in coming last year, we saw that they had the clean challenge and they had other things, which is a fantastic and great idea. But they were missing one vital part to what dealers do today, and that's security and remote start. So I approached Brian with an idea that we add another challenge to it. that it's more of a security challenge, and we would go ahead and sponsor it, bring everything. So that's what we did.
So what is the challenge?
So it's a bracket style 2-day challenge. Started yesterday, where you had 16 teams competing.
16.
So
Wow.
2-man teams.
Okay.
And you were judged off of time, cleanliness of the wiring, and about 3 other criteria.
Hold up before you come. Or were you allowed? Is this T-harness installation?
Nope.
Old school.
Old
Okay.
school,
Analog. All right. Because I was like, man, the T-harness already loomed, and it's all,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like a lot of it's
snap,
done.
snap, go.
Yeah. Okay. So fair enough.
No, we're going old school.
Old school. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So the biggest thing was to get 2 vehicles identical. So of course we did what anyone would do, and just take 2 cars from the rental car place. So they're literally our rental cars.
Because of course you let the rental car place know that that's what we're doing, but it's all good.
No idea why it came back with tan interior. I have
Weird,
no idea.
strange.
No, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 2-day bracket style. The winners go to today. Today's an even harder installation with other criteria. And at the end of the day, when Kyle and Chris judge all the criteria, we're going to award over $5,000 worth of.
So who's Kyle and Chris?
God, that helps. So Chris is our director of technical services.
Oh, Chris Labardi.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And Kyle is on his team.
Perfect. Okay.
So at the end of the day, we're going to give away over $5,000 worth of clips and Onkyo gear from our other company. So
Hold up. So 16 teams of 2 or singles?
two.
Teams of 2 competing in a bracket style installation, judged on cleanliness and all the criteria that you set, and they get to walk away with a $5,000 package.
Yep.
Amazing.
So that's like
Amazing.
one of the top of the line clips soundbar, 5.1 soundbar.
Yes, sir.
With one of the new Onkyo
Amazing.
receivers.
Amazing. See, and that's the cool thing about this event. Like, I wasn't sure. This is my first time here. I wasn't sure what to expect. I'd heard, different, but to actually be here, man, there is something in you. If you are into installation of any kind, whether it's fabrication, car audio, security, because let's be honest, a lot of y'all do security or car start. It's a big part of your business, right? Is the most funnest and flashiest one sometimes? To some, absolutely.
Sure.
To others, yeah, it's a means to an end. But you need to know the latest stuff that's going on. And I think it's important that you attend events like that to make sure that happens. All right. Let's talk about why you're here. There's a lot of different brands here that I don't normally see. I've seen a CNC machine brand. I've seen a laser brand. I've seen someone who sells leather. I've seen a guy that does like 3D scan tools. What's Vox's, perspective?
So our perspective, first of all, we love to see these other players come in and diversify. That's Brian's background. He was in insulation, manufacturing. So of course this fits in his realm. We wanted to be here because we're still the player in the 12-volt space, right? So we've got the security, the mobile video, the products that ultimately will be installed in everyone's vehicles, but also work with these 3D printers and laser cutters and figure out how to integrate at a new level. That's really what it is. The Mastertech has 2 types of attendees. They've got the brand new guy that's just getting into the industry, that this is super important to learn because it's going to elevate their game. Or you've got the old veterans that are like, wow, that's super cool. Like, I'm a great fabricator. I can pull vinyl and stuff. But if you show me how to 3D print,
maybe I could do this.
Right. So it's super important to have these guys here. It really widens the industry. It's important.
It's amazing to see the crowd they get when they do a demo.
Yeah.
And like I can see all the eyes just like, I could use this. I could, and I think that's really cool.
Well, traditional trade shows, you come into a booth, you say what's new, you look at product for 5 minutes, and then you take off. This is engaging.
They're showing you how.
Yeah, they're showing you how, and these guys are getting tips and tricks. Literally, they may pick up one thing today, but they'll use it tomorrow in their shop. Absolutely. So it's very cool.
My final thing I want to talk to you about, Jonathan, is last year Brian put a keynote speaker up, and it was Bill Jackson from Rockford Fosgate. This year he announced is a gentleman by the name of Aaron Demers.
Don't know him.
I know you don't know him, so you have to research him and Google him before this interview. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Aaron and the whole take on his responsibility as the keynote speaker and how you feel this is going to go?
Yeah, so Aaron's a great choice. Aaron's been in the industry for about 30 years. He's been at it from a magazine sales standpoint when he first got into it, to working for manufacturers and then being reps and then coming back to the manufacturing side. He's currently the president of the CTA board. on 12-volt vehicles. So he's in it and has been in it for the longest time. He's a huge proponent of the industry. And talking to him and getting his outlook on not only the industry, but for these dealers that may have a hard time right now because they're not doing well or they're specializing in only one thing, it's good to hear from someone like Aaron on what else they can do and what can they do, literally take away from this show today, implement tomorrow and have an effect. As simple as making sure your bathrooms are clean. You know, he touched on that because he doesn't want to send anyone into a dealership that he wouldn't send his wife or daughter into.
Oh, interesting. So that's kind of like a qualification for him.
Yeah, and really qualifying your customer when they come in. Find out what they want, right? Walk them through it. They don't know what the dealer knows. So it's very important to educate them so they make an informed decision. And that's something that Aaron brings.
You know, I'm really looking forward to hearing the wisdom. And sometimes you need to hear things from 10,000 feet because we're always on the grind in that immediate bubble. And hearing that higher level type of message, if you're smart about it, which a lot of guys are because they made their time and investment to come here,
For sure.
they're going to take what Aaron's going to say and run with it.
Yep.
Right? There's something they're going to take away. So I'm excited to hear about that. I'm happy that Aaron's doing it and looking forward to that tomorrow. On that note, Jonathan, thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it, man. As
Talk to you
always.
soon. And
Talk to you.
we'll see how that, when you announcing the winner on that challenge.
Should be a few hours.
There you go. Congrats. Well, we will find out who's going on. We'll talk about it. Thanks,
Sounds
Aaron.
good. Thanks.
Take care. That was Jonathan Frank. He's the VP of Marketing for Vox Electronics. Meanwhile, I got my next guest waiting. Come on in, sir. This guy's OG. I love hanging with Mr. John Myers because he is OG, original gangster from Kicker. What's going on, John? What am I doing here? You know what you're doing here. Of course you know what you're doing here. John, this is, we had a chance to chit-chat a little bit before the show, remember? And you're like, Ben, I got to tell you, I'm pretty excited to come down here. I want to see what all this tech is about and how these guys are implementing and all these tools. Now that you've had the chance to walk around for a day or two, did it happen? Are you satisfied? Are you excited?
I'm actually calling other manufacturers that I know, telling them you need to get involved in this.
Why? What did you tell them?
It's the greatest place to get your technology out to the people that really want to learn, and it's the best people in the industry doing the best things. And why not learn from the best?
Man, you nailed that because I got a chance to step into some of these trainings and like these guys, like that's the guy. You know what I mean? Like who else do you want to learn that from?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I was walking around. I'm seeing the cam guys on the CNC machines, the laser machine going on. They're printing right now. They're cutting right now.
I'm learning all kinds of stuff about that.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, so here's something interesting I want to share with those listening in. So, of course, I'm trying to tell you guys what you're missing. So I'm walking around the hall. I'm looking for John. I'm looking for Kicker Booth. I run up on the Kicker Booth. I need you to understand something. The manufacturers here did not put the budget effort into fancy lighting displays and hanging giant signs and big trussing structures. That's not why they're here. No. Literally at the Kicker Booth, you're going to see a table. Obviously, there's some product, but you're going to see two tables that caught my eye. I don't want to talk about them. Let's first talk about the speaker building table. Okay, hold on. Let me preface it. I'm not saying that there's not an atelier on site where you're building a speaker. They've literally, I guess, went into your workshop or whatever it is, your R&D department, and show everybody all the different materials, steps, and stages it takes to build a speaker. Let me give you an opportunity to elaborate on that.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about what we do as Kicker, I mean, we own all the tooling for all our speakers, and our amplifiers and our electronics. We basically own everything. So it's neat where we can actually, take our tools and we can have our manufacturers that are actually making the components for us. We can take, hey, this is the sheet of sheet metal that starts the basket. And then it goes through this stamping process. It goes through about 9 different stamping process just to make the basket of the speaker. And same thing with the pole piece. I mean, you start with a big old chunk of 2-inch by 6-inch steel, and it keeps getting forged and forged and forged till it becomes the back plate and pole piece. And people have never seen the process. I mean, from a bag of granulated plastic that turns into a cone.
A Ziploc, guys.
Yeah.
Of little black pebbles, I guess. I don't know how to crystals.
Yeah, it's basically, the plastic that makes the polypropylene cone. And it's just little pellets that has to get basically put into an injection mold machine, which we own the mold for that. And it makes our cone out of that plastic material. We can add other things to it to change the composition of the weight. So by owning the tooling and owning all this process, we can actually tune our speakers exactly the way we want. I mean, we can make them have a lower resonance or upper resonance.
Because you're controlling every step of the fabrication.
Exactly. And And that's what, really makes, Kicker's been around for 50 years. I mean, it's not by accident. We listen to people, and we honestly try to keep improving our products every year. Not only coming out with new and better products, but the products we make, if we see something that needs to be changed, we'll do what we call a running change, where we'll, say on an amplifier, we don't have a lot of failures, but this one component is dying, maybe it's abuse or whatever, but we can go back in and then alter that one component.
Because you've isolated it to that issue.
So, and we'll go back and do that. And then the other exciting thing about doing stuff like that is with like repairs. We don't have any authorized repair facilities. We design all of our amplifiers on audio precision equipment. I mean, they're not cheap. They're $45,000 a piece. We've got 13 of them. So once we repair a piece of equipment, we go back and we test it on the audio precision after it's repaired. But if there were any revisions along the line that were made between the time that customer bought that amplifier and he sent it in, we make those revisions for free.
Free, guys. So the reason I wanted to bring that up is because, I've been to a lot of shows. You have to, obviously. And, usually you're walking into a booth and it's just like, product everywhere. Obviously, you want to showcase your latest products. I mean, I love how this is kind of not the deal here.
No, I mean, people know us.
Yeah.
I mean, and
there's nobody in this room that doesn't know who Kicker is.
Yeah, and this event is so cool. I mean, I've been going to events like this for been a professional trainer in car audio for 30 years.
Imagine that.
This is the only event I've ever been to like this, and it is such a breath of fresh air to learn the technology from the people that own the tools and design the technology, and have the ability to see how it can be used and
applied, the application of it,
and see it being used, and to learn from them and get the contact from the people at the factory that, if you've got a problem, you got a question, hey, I'm trying to do this with this CNC or this laser, and you can call the people that wrote the software, designed the machine, like, oh yeah, you need to do this. Quick and easy. So that's what's really cool about an event like this, is the fact that you're right here with everybody that is the core group that basically produces this.
Yep. 100%. I couldn't have said that better myself. And I said there was two things that caught my attention in your booth. The first thing was the whole composition of speaker manufacturing. The other part was an interesting demo. We've done this demo virtually on our show before, but to see it live, what I'm talking about, guys, we've talked about the key product from Kicker and how it's such a great solution, easy to use, easy to program, flat curve, takes away everything that you don't want, puts everything that you do want, and makes it work. Okay, great. But what you guys have done is you've created kind of like a custom. I'm going to try to explain this to you guys. It's a custom board.
Had it here. We could show
I couldn't do it, but maybe we'll get a picture of it. But so there's a factory radio on the panel, and then there's 3 different types of inputs, right? And those input, and there's also an amplifier. So if you have a factory amplifier, for example, so you're replicating like an OEM integration kind of scenario.
Yes.
Running to a key amp. Take it from there.
Okay, so what we did is we took a newer Toyota radio, and we're using a Toyota radio because it's not CAN bus on this particular radio. So it's out of a newer vehicle. It's got everything, the normal creature, comforts, but it's not CAN bus, so we don't have to have the vehicle to make it work. So we've taken that. We have an OEM style amplifier, and then we've also got our key lock, which is our interface, our smart interface. We also have 3 different taps where we can tap the signal coming out of the radio to measure it with an RTA to see what the...
and it's there. You can see it.
Yep. You can see exactly what OEM is doing. You can see if there's all pass filters. You can see if there's, equalization, if there's time alignment. And then we also can tap in the output of the amplifier and look at that at the RTA and say, okay, well, the radio's doing this. The amplifier changed to be this. And, not always is there a change in the radio and the amplifier, but, you're always going to have a change at the end of the process before it goes speakers. So we can actually measure that. And then we can go to the key lock, and we can actually look at what's coming out of the amplifier from that source. But then we can basically activate the key lock, and we can see what it does to the signal. And it
literally, guys, a press of a button.
And it's so cool because, for you guys in retail that are showing your customers, he just paid up, $129 or whatever it is for this piece of equipment. What did it do for me? We all know that, audio is kind of like colors. You could walk into a room and it's like, that's a lovely shade of green. And then you go in another room like 5 hours later and it's like, well, hey, that's the same color.
That's right.
It's actually blue. You can't remember. So by having the ability to turn that processor on and off while you are the customer sitting in the car, you can validate what you've done and why they spent the money for this product.
Not only, and I want to just stress, if you're set up like the way they show this demo, I would replicate that at my shop. You're showing them audibly and visually. That 1-2 punch combo is undeniable.
Yeah, it really is.
It's powerful. it's powerful stuff.
I mean, you can tell people all day long how much it does, how much it improves, but
Absolutely.
until they experience it, firsthand, and it's crazy that you get in some of these vehicles, and I like to. There's two different ways to present this technology. One is you can have it shut off, get the customer in the vehicle, say, "Hey, what do you think?" Like, "Oh man, it sounds great. It's really cool." And like, "Oh, by the way, we don't have the processor on." Hit the button, like,
Whoa, yeah, it's mind blowing.
And then
sure.
some people, they like to do it opposite, like turn it on, say, "Hey, this is absolutely incredible. This is what you would have had," and they shut it off. So you can approach it from two different angles, but it's the same exact result. I mean, it's day and night difference.
Can I ask you, is that something that's hard to rig up?
No, it's a push of a button.
Do you have like those specs for anybody who might want to build that for their own shop?
Yeah, we actually have it online. So if you go to kicker.com.
Here I am trying to contribute. Yeah, there's no contribution. It's already existing.
Yeah,
all right.
You go to kicker.com, look at the support tab, and go into the white papers.
Okay.
And there's a section on the key, making a demo switch for the key. Literally, with the key 200.4, you've got 3 pins on a 3.5 millimeter cable.
Mm-hmm.
You got the tip, you got a sleeve, and a sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally, you touch the second sleeve to the tip, just the outer two, touch it like momentary, and that toggles that key in and out. So that's very easy. Or you can leave the microphone with the button on it connected all the time,
Sure,
which is a little more cumbersome. And same thing with the amplifier. It's just a little button on the side. Just push the button on and off.
Again, I thought I was being smart by making a suggestion. Folks at Kicker, they already thought about this. John, thank you so much. It's so cool hanging out with you. You know what's cool is seeing him walking around and just being like mind blown and literally watching his eyes go like, "Oh my God, this is amazing."
Well, and not to take up too much more time, but I really am. I'm learning so much here, and you're not a true college of car audio. You're always learning. You have to be. If you stop learning at any point, you're dead in the water. Technology is evolving. It's getting more complicated. But at the same time, it's making a lot of the tasks easier and better for the end result. And that's the name of the game. Get the car to the customer, make it sound better, make it look better, and do it in a shorter amount of time. And we all are happier.
This really is a great place to kind of get that influence, get that emotion too.
Yeah,
like you got really motivation, right? When you leave this place, you're like, "Man, I learned so much and I want to try it."
Yep, you just said the magic word, because what I ask people is like, when I go to a training in the store, "What are you guys selling?" It's, "Oh, we're selling Kicker, we're selling," it doesn't matter. No, you're not. You're not selling car audio. Like, what? Yeah, that's all we have. No, you're not selling car audio. You're selling emotion. Mm-hmm. You're selling that experience, and the only way that people are going to get that or get excited is to see what happens here. Good old Dean.
Because we're live, Dean feels like he can bomb us. What's going on?
Yeah, you literally are selling emotion. Car audio is the medium that contributes to that emotion.
Yes.
So the more excited, the more.
Man, I can't say enough. We don't sell anything that anybody needs.
No, we don't.
No,
totally.
No.
I mean, Chip even said that up on stage.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, building cars. Nobody needs another hot rod.
Nobody.
We want it. We got to have it
so badly.
That's what's cool about this whole venue, and you better believe I'm coming back again next year.
So cool to see you, John.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to a good season. And
we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. We'll hang out a bit. Take care. That was John Myers, representing Kicker, again, OG in the house and learning. So I'm going to go to my next guest, Mr. Doug Reed. Represent.
What's up, man? How are you?
How are you doing, sir?
Fantastic.
This is a monumental moment, sir.
Awesome.
You know why this is monumental? We got First Tech on CMA.
You're going to tell me.
I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm so happy you guys
exciting.
Recognize this is a scenario that you should be a part of, that you should to support. And we got a lot to talk about. So I had the chance to visit their booth, and I was blown away because I did not realize the scope of the things that you touch. We hear First Tech. First Tech is more of the manufacturer label in many ways. I know iData stuff. I know, all these other, drone and the more brands. But then when I lift off the veil, oh my God, these guys are involved in all this stuff. So we are not being able to cover everything they do today. So let me just start with that. However, I did want to touch on 2-3 items that I thought were certainly worth mentioning at this show. So number one, what is your footprint here? You got a booth going on? You got some training? What's the footprint?
So we have a booth with a lot of products on display, obviously. We have trainings. We did one a little while ago. We're going to do one immediately following this. We're going to talk about, the first training was based on electrical theory. So obviously non-brand specific, and we're doing some electrical theory training, talking about all of the things that you're never told as you're learning this stuff in a bay. Talking about all those things that you wish you kind of knew all about, but you never sat down and explained, all the little details that matter. So in the bay. And then our next training is going to be talking about remote start process. We're going to talk about remote start and security and how the process works from start to finish. So,
Okay. All right. So very technical.
very technical.
Very technical. And I would expect no less at this
Yeah,
event.
no, it has to be
Perfect.
technical.
Now,
Absolutely.
what's still going on in the booth? So what was your purpose? Like, what did you want to show people?
Well, there's a couple new solutions we have, a couple new products. Not a lot of new products, but there's some new products, mostly new solutions. And we've got some new online presence. We have a new app. We have a new website. A lot of new things that are coming on the back end of things. So
I took the liberty to write down a couple of things I want to dive a little bit deeper on.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about firmware updates, because everybody when you're thinking about this type of market, this category, people always all up in what's the latest firmware.
Mhm.
Any firmware to announce?
Well, I can tell you, I can give you a little hint. The GM13 firmware will be released shortly. I can't give you an exact date, but very soon.
GM guys, I know you
Mhm.
guys always want to talk about GM.
So GM13 firmware covers the new Tahoes, the new Chevy push-to-starts, all of those new Chevy GM products that everyone's been waiting and asking about forever now, it seems like. So that's finally going to come to fruition here very, very soon. Again, I can't announce a date.
2023?
It's going to be this year.
This
I promise
year?
you that this year you will have a solution.
Full T-harness solution?
There's going to be a T-harness solution,
Okay.
as well as you're going to be able to do a blade hardwired solution.
Blade as well. So T-harness, Blade, 13 GM coming sometime this year. I'm not going to hold them to it, but I think that's good news. Rejoice. Be ready. All right. What about I was blessed. I had a training with this guy by the name of Phil. You may or may not know him. And he was
I've heard the name before.
Phil Cameron, kind of enthusiastic about car starters.
To say the least.
To say the
Absolutely.
least. And I remember he was so excited. He said, Ben, wait till I get on the session. We're doing this last fall. And he got on, and he wouldn't tell me what it's about. Because, Ben, trust me, I'm going to be ready for this. So we went to broadcast, and boom, he drops on the table, and it's this thing called Hub. Tell us, for those that don't know, what is this device, and why is it such a game changer?
So this is the Hub. And
I'll hold that while you talk.
Yeah, this is a new way to basically install car starters. What that does is, the way I like to put it, is it sucks the lifeblood out of the key. You place the key on the hub, and it captures the data from the key and makes a digital copy of that data, which is then in turn processed by the clone servers, and we are able to reproduce that signal in an analog form to be presented to the vehicle. So it changes the way that the remote start process works.
So explain that for those that may not be aware of what exists currently as a standard procedure versus what this does.
Right. So now in your typical install, we're gonna produce a data signal to the vehicle, either via CAN or an immobilizer data signal to the vehicle, to basically fake or let the car start without having the key in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to produce that signal in an analog form, so it's as if the key were placed next to the key reader in the vehicle. So it changes. If you think about a standard push-to-start install at this point, that data is introduced to the vehicle, like I said, via CAN or immobilizer data. Now that we are able to produce that signal in an analog form, all you need to do is, just like you get in the vehicles, energize brake, tap the push-to-start button, the vehicle starts. So it changes the whole process.
Makes it much more efficient.
Much more efficient, much easier, allows for a lot of new opportunities that aren't available out there right now.
I can't help but think, after getting introduced, I was kind of like digesting the information. But then when I thought about it, I mean, this here, guys, you know, if you've got junior techs that maybe you didn't assign to those more complicated applications before, I have a feeling this might be opening some opportunities for those. I don't want to say entry-level techs, but you know what I'm talking about.
It's a hugely powerful device. It's going to, like I said,
it's going to streamline some processes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
All right. So we talked about the GM13 update that's coming to you later this year, 2013. We talked about this incredible device, Cub. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is, I think, something that's super relevant, especially with the show, the scenario that we're at here, which is called First Tech Academy.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that, Doug.
So what we've done is we've created a couple of facilities. One is based in Texas near Dallas, and then one is in the Seattle area near our headquarters. And we've built classrooms. So it's
physical.
It's a physical classroom. Okay. This is not virtual. This is a hands-on classroom, and it's not just a classroom. It's an install bay where we're working on cars hands-on, live installs. We pull the cars in. We go through the process. Not only do we go through the process of installation, but we also go through the process of how that installation should proceed from start to finish, from the time you take the keys from the customer until the time they're returned to the customer.
So My question is, are we talking about classroom setting? I'm watching you do this and I'm taking notes, or am I actually?
No, it's hands-on. So typically the way this process works, the way we've designed the curriculum is there's lecture. So there's a point where you're sitting down listening to the theory.
Okay,
So there's a theory component. But that theory, there's never more than a 2-hour stretch. That's the cutoff. I don't like to talk for any more than 2 hours at a time.
Yeah, your brain
having
melts.
Hands-on experience.
Mhm.
Get up. Now we're touching and showing. We're working on cars. We have specialized trainers that we've built. So we have steering columns that are powered up with the ignition switches. So we do hands-on live testing on those. Like I said, we pull in live vehicles. So we're doing live installs. We also have trainers that are basically powered devices, the boards that we can, build circuits on, test circuits on, go over what a relay is, a resistor, a diode, all of the components that we would use.
So you're like down at that level.
Oh yeah, the first level. So level 1 is theory, electrical theory. It starts out and we explain what is electricity. That's literally the first question that we explore. So what is electricity and how does it pertain? The key is what we do is keep everything relevant to installs, to what you're going to do in the bay. Our goal is to make sure that we're keeping things relative to everything that you do in a bay. I don't sit there and start harping on formulas and going, crazy deep into anything that doesn't actually get used in the bay on an everyday basis. That's our goal, is to keep it.
So I guess my question is, like, who are you targeting as a student? Are we talking like seasoned, newbies? Are you like?
Yes, all of the above. All of the above. So level 1 is built for someone who's totally green, who's never touched a car before. We can take that student. We can also take a veteran. So we've had everyone from someone who's never worked in 12 volt at all come to the class, and I've had guys that were 15-year veterans take level 1, and after the class, they came to me and said, "Wow, I really learned a lot," because the issue is that a lot of these things are never taught. When you learn in a bay next to a guy that's been doing it for 15 years, they're not sitting you down telling you why this stuff works. They're not telling you theory. They don't explain how a relay works. They tell you hook the red wire to the blue wire, and it's going to work. So it's really it's a new way to look at it, and we try to keep things, like I said. The key is to make sure that what we're teaching isn't some random class about electrical theory that doesn't pertain to what you're going to do in the bay every day. We keep everything relative to what is actually happening.
2 follow-up questions that come to mind. Number 1, how do I qualify to be able to come take courses?
So to qualify to take courses, you have to be a First Tech dealer. That's the number 1 qualification. So you have to be an employee of, or a principal of, or some, doesn't matter, sales, install, owners. We've had all of those. We've had salespeople, we've had owners, managers, installers, new guys, new hires. As long as you're associated with a First Tech dealer, you're welcome to come to the class.
How long is the course? What type of commitment are we talking about?
So the courses are 2 days. So right now we offer level 1, like I said, electrical theory. It's a 2-day class. It's a Monday, Tuesday. And then level 2 is a product focused class where we go through every controller that we build, every accessory that we build, every RF kit, so all the remotes, every wire on our brains, every programming feature on the brains, and we go in depth and talk very in depth about all of those things, all the things you want to use auxiliary for. We'll teach you how to use auxiliary for on our brains. The things that like I said, those are the things that you never really sat down and talked about, because we never have. When you're in the field training, and you have an hour, we don't have time in an hour training to talk about those kind of technical things. So, but those are the things we go over in the trainings.
Okay, so let's review. We're talking about physical class. We're talking from level 1 to advanced. We're talking 2 days. To be able to have access to this course that Doug's talking about, you got to be an authorized First Tech dealer. So basically, the best person to connect with is your rep, I guess, would be the best avenue.
Correct. Yep. Or you can go to firsttechllc.com, and the full calendar's on there. You can register right online.
Okay.
Everything, registration.
Is there a cost involved with this?
So that's the best next question. I was going to ask that question of myself. So the cost is $99 that you pay up front, fully refundable. So the cost
it's $100.
It's $100, and it's the only reason we charge $99 is to make sure you show up. When you show up, we refund the $99. So the classes are free of charge. The only thing you need to pay for is to get there and the hotel room. And we've negotiated deals with local hotels, $139 a night for a hotel room, and you just need to get the flight. We provide meals. We provide
food included.
Food, entertainment, transportation. It's a no-brainer to me, but it's I'm biased.
But Doug, I'm not an authorized First Tech dealer. How do I get there?
You've got to become an authorized First Tech dealer. So that's the catch. That's the
Fair
catch.
enough. Fair
so
enough.
you got to be a dealer.
All right. So, and this initiative, is this a new initiative or?
This has been in the works for many, many years. So, in my background, I actually started a training facility years ago, about 10 years ago now. I started a training facility in upstate New York, which morphed into other things. And then I've been on now with First Tech for about 6 years. But we've had conversations about this training facility for many, many years. So it's finally come to fruition, which is super exciting for me.
And how's the feedback been?
It's been fantastic. It's
Awesome.
been really, really good. It's very rewarding. I love sharing the knowledge. I love training guys. So it's exciting.
There you have it, guys. So we're talking First Tech Academy. Just to review, brand new GM13 software firmware coming up later this year. And if you haven't already checked this guy out, talk to your First Tech rep. They're going to tell you all about how this is going to change the game in remote start. So happy you came on, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
We look forward to hearing more about your First Tech Academy, any new releases, get you on the shows, and get everybody up to date with what's going on with First Tech. Take
awesome.
care, man.
Yeah,
all
thank you very much.
That there was Doug Reed from First Tech coming to join us. That is a wrap here. Day 2 of Mastertech EXPO. It is being phenomenal. Oh, wait. I got one more. I cannot not accept this gentleman. You may have seen him before. Ken Ward. What's going on, Ken?
Thanks for thinking I would know, Ben. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, that's okay. Ken, I couldn't be happier than having you close out the show today because I have so much to talk to you about.
It's not just alphabetical order. As a ward, I'm used to coming at the end.
You don't think I'm any different? So, Ken, I'm just going to fling this one off the top of my mind because I had the opportunity to sneak in on one of your courses this morning.
Oh, cool.
And let me tell you why I want to bring this up. It's as if it's like I've never, heard any of your training. Ken put on a master class. I'm going to stroke you a little bit here. A master class. Listen to this on sales.
A lot of people don't know that I started off as a retail salesperson.
I'm going to say something here. Like, yes, we get Ken on all the time, and he's talking to you about the latest Forza or the DSP. DSP is a lot of our conversations, to be honest. Okay, it is what it is.
It takes a lot of attention.
OEM integration, DSP tools, methods, all that type of stuff. But I have to say, if you ever have an opportunity to sit down on this guy's sales presentation, do it. Absolutely do it. He's going to bring you a different flavor. It was very insightful for me. I got a lot out of it. I talked to guys after it. I'm like, I think Ken should do more sales. Ken should do more sales trainings.
It was very kind of you to say that, Ben, and I'm going to go off topic for a second.
Yeah.
Today, at the end of the training, you weren't in the room.
No,
but I dropped pre-order opportunities for my book, Sustainably Selling, which is on educarlabs.com. So if anybody wants to get the book, educarlabs.com, I'd really appreciate it. It'll help prop up my Starbucks habit. And
you're from Seattle, you can't help it.
Well, Portland's close.
Portland's close. Anyhow.
Portland's close.
Yeah. Okay. But again, great feedback. If you ever get a chance, I'm going to strongly recommend sitting in on one of these sales trainings. Now, okay, there's lots to talk about. Electromedia's got a big presence here, right? You got some vehicles. There's a lot going on. I don't even know where to begin. I think where I want to begin is let's talk about what the footprint is. What are people missing who aren't at the show when it comes to the brands that you represent?
So, Electromedia has Hertz and Audison brands here. Mm-hmm. And each of those brands is larger than most companies in terms of the number of products they offer. So we have a car on the floor that is Gary Biggs' classic Buick competition car, reimagined with the same installation, design, and layout that it's always had, but with Thesis speakers, Thesis amplifiers, and our Bit 1 HD Virtuoso processor. And so that's on the floor in a featured position. We're here with Mobile Solutions, who puts on Mastertech EXPO. Brian, I know, was very excited about having that car.
I need to stop you there. This car is blowing my mind. I seen it coming in, and they were setting it up in the open. So I've told you in the past, I've never had a chance to see Thesis amplifiers in person. The first time, all can never change. The first time I've seen Thesis amplifiers in person was in the trunk of that Buick. It is so pretty. They have it all lit up when it plays.
Yes.
I'm sure there's pictures on the Mastertech Instagram. Check that out. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. Are they giving demos in that car?
Oh yeah, they're giving demos in the car. You just have to catch when Gary Biggs is there, and it's been great.
Amazing, sick. the
Now,
other vehicle.
also on outside, we have Hertz and Audison product on display outside. And on the Audison side, we have our AF Forza DSP amps, and now our companion amps are also part of the mix for North America this year. As you may remember, Ben, because of chip constraints last year, we couldn't deliver all the models to all the worldwide markets.
You're talking at time at launch.
At the time of launch.
Yeah, sure.
This year, all of our dealers are in business with AF Forza for the entire year. They've
Beautiful.
got 4 different DSP models. We've got 2 different companions and more coming. We've got a lot of peripherals. So that's on display there. And we have a truck with 4 5-channel AF Forza amplifiers. We've heard great things about the AF 5.11. It's 100 by 4 at 2 ohms, and it's 600 by 1. I'm sorry, it's 100 by 4 at 4 ohms, and it's 600 by 1 at 2 ohms, which is the way most 5-channel amps get used in North America. So it's been a very successful platform in North America. North America felt that our previous 5-channel amp didn't have the power that appealed.
You're talking about the previous Forza?
The AP,
The AP
5.9, which
yes.
was 50 by 2, 20 by 2, 250 by 1. This blows it out of the park.
Well, they can't even compare.
It's a totally different kind of flying altogether. Then we have Hertz, and we have Hertz. We have Hertz subwoofers on display in our demo truck. We also have Hertz everything in the side-by-side.
I was just going to say, the side-by-side you can hear.
The side-by-side is just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it plays. It jams.
It's really tough to demo product within a couple of miles of that vehicle because it can just get down. And we're showing our new Harley parts. Electromedia USA and has developed in conjunction with one of our dealers the parts to take our existing SPL products and make them a full plug-and-play bolt-in Harley system. And I'm not an expert on Harleys.
What do you mean? You don't have 2 hogs at home?
I don't. But
I can picture. I think I'm going to Photoshop this. I'm going to make this of me. I am so Photoshopping you on a bike.
Oh God, you'll have to. That'll require green screen right there.
Yeah. Anyways,
so we've got the bag covers, we've got the grills, we've got the plug-in harnesses, and this is perfectly complementary to our IP-rated waterproof 4-channel amp
and SADSP
and the SADSP.
Boom. There's your combo.
So we've been very supportive of this event this year. We're really happy to be involved this year, and we've sponsored general ed trainings that Electromedia has been kind enough to support me in doing for the attendees. We've obviously got some branded trainings tonight and tomorrow on our specific products. We really like that this event has an extended 2-hour night school that we can use to talk about our DSP.
I can't talk enough. I spent all night here. I had my barbecue. And then the rest of the evening, I get the luxury. I get to hopscotch a little bit. But, I want to get a taste and feel for everything that's going on. I love the night school aspect. I really do. Before we go back to that, I want to talk about these vehicles. I had the chance to go. I haven't got a chance to sit in any of them yet because there's always a line on every vehicle, which is great. But the support is very evident. That's why I wanted you to run through what the footprint was, right? Because you guys are here in a big way. And I wanted you guys at home to understand that Electromedia is no joke when it comes to supporting, technicians, fabricators, everybody who's here, who's playing with this stuff and putting it into cars. I think that's the most important message. On top of that, Ken, is it me or you have 30 trainings this week?
I do bring throat lozenges because if I'm not careful.
Ridiculous. I walk through the hall and all I hear is Ken's voice. Now, I don't know if that's because he's actually talking or that's just in my mind.
Well, you might want to have that looked at, but I am doing 2 general ed trainings and 3 branded trainings here. And I'd do more if they let me, but I guess some of the other people want to talk.
I suppose. You should let them talk.
Trying to be fair.
Okay. If you had to highlight one course that, choose one that, if you can only do one, which one would you really strongly recommend they partake in?
That's remaining?
No, any of them. Because remember, we're talking to those that aren't here.
So
what did you miss? If there's one that you should have.
Well, so tonight at our branded Audison training, we're going to take my Toyota radio and we're going to connect it to our new DSP amp, and we're going to live demonstrate things that I only referred to in the OEM general class. We're going to show you how to correct phase manipulation. We're going to show you how to correct delay. We're going to show you how to be sure the car is ready to tune. And so, yes, that's our branded product, but it's really a problem everybody is wrestling with, and we want to walk everybody through a solution.
Live.
In
person. Real time. No skipping steps.
Nope.
That's what you're missing by not being here, just so you know. Final thoughts. You're my last guest for today's broadcast. Ken, how's the show gone for you? Is it going the way you expected? And what message do you have for anybody at home that isn't here?
Well, I really hope you're here next year, and one of the reasons is that it's really great to be with such a group of attendees that are really committed to advancing their professionalism. Nobody is in this business because they got a PhD in car stereo, right? We all kind of taught ourselves, and the world is getting more complicated, and we need to be able to stay with the rest of the world. And so this is something that other professions do. My wife is a CPA, and she can't stay a CPA if she doesn't take a certain number of hours every year to make sure that she is up on the latest tax law.
That's right.
So we as an industry, we need to be just as committed, and we are so happy that we get to support everybody in being at the forefront.
The industry's brightest minds, including this gentleman right here, is here in full force, and this is what you're missing out on. Ken?
Thanks, Ben. Thanks for having me.
I'm going to stop in a little bit later. Maybe check out your real-time little tune session. Sweet. All right. See ya. Well, listen, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You know, my job here is to make you feel bad that you're at home, but also really important that you understand the type of effort, the type of activities, the type of experiences that are being taken away here at Mastertech EXPO in Mesa, Arizona. And again, we have one more day. We're doing our best to try to bring on as many guys as possible so you guys can get a feel for what's going on. This is day 2 for ongoing coverage of Mastertech EXPO here in Mesa, Arizona at the Convention Center. Whew, what a day it's been. We got one more day of coverage. Just take note, a little bit of a time change tomorrow for tomorrow's final day 3 broadcast. Make sure you check it out across all social media platforms. On that note, well, actually, no, before I say bye, I want to remind you that if you missed our day 1, check out our website, cmanetworks.com. That's where you're going to find all the videos that we've done throughout the season on every category you can think of. But also, if you want to check out our day 1 coverage of Mastertech EXPO, you'll be able to find it there as well. On that note, thanks for tuning in. This is Ben Wu for CMA 12-Volt Insider presented by SiriusXM. Until next time, reconnect.
I mean, yeah, it's time about
Stop it.
Today where I'm going to
Yo, roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to SiriusXM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on SiriusXM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?